participants, welcome back to the Game Dev Arena. We're on day 17 of trying to get this MOBA demo created. Like I said yesterday, by the end of the month, I may only get the single player experience done, but the main aspect of the game with its core loop will be done at least, and it'll just be getting all the networking for multiplayer set up beyond this month. But I definitely see myself getting at least the single player experience done. So let's go into what I have been able to get done today. Yesterday we had created those essences, as I basically have dubbed for this game with its resources management, trying to collect those resources or collect those essences to bring back to your base. So that way you can power the base with electricity, with wind, have rock, have wood, and have fire and water. So we're going through and just getting all that set up. So right now we have I managed to create the essence for the electricity fall. So right now I've created a game object for the electricity essence that is a factory within the electricity fall game object, because now it is its own game object. So we can see within our collection for all of our structures, we have a electricity game object here. Basically, the electricity game object contains a collision object that's a trigger for when the player gets into that collision, gets into that trigger area. It'll populate our essence, the electricity essence, which is a factory right now. And then, of course, I got the sprite for the actual fall, and then a script that will what what the script is going to end up doing. It holds the amount of the essences collected from the fall. Right now we're at 0. Goes through, it figures out if the player has entered the trigger area. If he has, it'll create our resource basically right in front of, at the bottom of the fall. And then once the resource has been collected, then the player, well, so hold on, let me back up just a little bit. So then once the factory has been created, we have a script within our electricity essence that has its own collision object that figures out, that knows when it collides with the player. Once the player has collided with the collision object of our essence, then we come to our script here. Once the collision response has been recorded, it will send a essence collected message to our electricity fall script. And now we're here. So the essence collected message will be sent to our electricity fall script. It'll increment our amount that the player has collected from the fall. And then I went ahead and did another message that goes to our character UI. So we got the character UI here. And then in our message section here under the character UI GUI script, it'll increment the amount that has been collected via this message.amount, which is in our little table area of our message posting going to the character UI with the self.amount. The essence message that I'm thinking of trying to do is associated with the actual like lettering of the essence, so like electricity, wind, wood, rock, so on and so forth. Uh, but right now, in terms of today, I haven't done anything with that. We just have the amounts working right now. So that's what I worked on this morning. I got to do it with the other falls as well. But right now, that's what I have done. So this we'll run through it one more time, and then you can see a demonstration. So right now, we have our electricity fall. It has a trigger that once the player enters the area, the resource of the fall will show up at the base of the fall. Once the resource has been collected, it'll send a message saying that it's been collected and to increment the amount received, received taken from the fall via the player. Once the fall has done that, then the fall will let the character UI know that the resource has been collected and will increment the number shown on the screen by 1. So that's basically the loop that I worked on this morning. So let's go into the actual game and see it implemented, or in its all its glory, I guess we'll say. So there's our UI. Nothing's been collected. Use the mouse to move our player. Get down to electricity fall. So see, the player has not entered the trigger area yet. Now the player has. We go to our resource. It's been collected. We got to leave the trigger area, go back, collect our resource, and it's been incremented. And it'll keep doing that until I stop. Oh, didn't leave the trigger area, and now back. So that's what I worked on so far. Obviously, I'm going to make this something different that's more aesthetically pleasing, but just in terms of getting that mechanic, that resource collection mechanic down, I just went ahead just a simple number just to make sure that the all the messaging is posting correctly to each script and the game is updating accordingly. Of course, what I want to do is give, I have a note here saying just to give a timer on, well, the players inside of the trigger zone, like a timer, like 10-second timer for resources to fall and be available for players to pick up. I'll probably have like um, multiple resources, maybe have like a staggered, actually I kind of like that, staggered spawn rate in different positions. So essentially, like right now, let's look here. So right now we have our essence right here in the middle of our electricity fall, and then I think what I'm thinking is maybe have like 3 different locations for players to be able to pick up. So like if when it gets to the multiplayer mode, you have multiple teammates get into one fall, then multiple teammates can pick up an electricity essence or whatever essence they're working with, and be able to take that, collect it, and move on. So that's what I have for right now. I'm gonna keep working on getting all of the other falls set up. And ironically enough, looking at this, I don't have my windfall within here, so I gotta actually get that added in. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put that. So that is something I need to get done today as well, because I just noticed that right now. All right, well, that's neither here nor there. But once again, we'll go ahead and show one more time what I was able to get done this morning, and I gotta do it for the rest of the falls as well as add the windfall into our game area. But got our GUI showing the collection resource being implemented, players moving. There's our resource. So like you can see here, I'm gonna have more resources gathered around the pool area of the actual elemental waterfall, and we collect the resource, and it gets incremented. So that's what I got for right now. I'm gonna work on getting everything else set up the same way with the other falls. Need to add the windfall, and we'll see. Maybe work on having better UI visualization with the actual collection of the resources. But I'll go through my notes, see what I want to work on next. But it may just be doing a lot of UI work, at least for tomorrow, on the resource collection, since I have that done and working properly. But we shall see. But thank you for watching. Tune back again tomorrow Don't know when I'll post. It'll be the morning or at night, but at some point we will post a day 18 video update. But I'm gonna get ahead and working on everything else. As you see in the process, it does take a little bit of time, a little tedious work, making files, getting all the code set up. But since I got the electricity fall, it'll be a little bit quicker. I just gotta get all the files set up for each fall, and then I'll be able to get everything working, talking properly. But for now, we will call it a day, and I will be back again tomorrow with day 18. But for that, it's game over.